Welcome back to Slay the Brother. I'm Killtrap, I'm back, and I'm whack as ever. So I just took a year-long break from my favorite abusive relationship in the world, looking at you wizards, and I definitely missed a lot. But I came back at the perfect time because we just had that massive middle finger to mono red decks where all the cool fun stuff got banned, and rotation is about to happen, which means certain cards I don't like are going to be going bye-bye. Now, some are getting replaced, like Temporary Lockdown has an artifact replacement. But that'll be easier for red decks to handle, that's for sure. The cheap go-to removal cut down is going to go bye-bye. And my least favorite brick wall Sheoldred is going bye-bye. And luckily for us, nothing in this deck is going bye-bye until February. So the deck I want to show today is a Gruul Delirium deck, but it's not your normal Gruul Delirium deck. We're not looking to mill and fill up our graveyard as much as possible, just to have somebody throw down a Rest in Peace and fuck everything up. Now yes, Rest in Peace or Graveyard Hate can still really hurt this deck, but we can also work past it because we have a second synergy going on here that works very well with Delirium. So without further ado, we're going to get into the deck. And before I start, don't forget to hit that like button, click the subscribe button to get more decks. We should be doing at least one deck tech a week for standard decks, and we'll be throwing in the occasional standard brawl deck here and there to help get more use out of these legendary creatures that never see play in standard. So starting off with the main deck, we're going to go into the cream of the crop here. We've got Marauding Mako. I hope I pronounced your name right, good sir. Whenever you discard one or more cards, put that many 1/1 counters on this creature. They're a red 1-drop, 1/1, and they also come with cycling too, which kind of means they can synergize with themselves if you're late game and you don't want to drop another one. And then the next 1-drop is Patchwork Beastie. We all know this guy, 1-drop, 3/3, Delirium. This creature can't block or attack unless Delirium's triggered. And it lets us mill one card at the beginning of our upkeep. So between these two cards, we have a pretty good way to get turn 3 wins, actually. Because the way they're going to be working with Fear of Missing Out, who will let us discard a card when they enter play. This G-Thug riding a fucking dinosaur. Whenever we attack, we get to discard a card and put a 1/1 counter on a creature. That creature then gets trample. This is great for Marauding Mako. This guy's going to get 2 1/1 counters every time we discard a card with this guy's ability. And then whenever we discard one or more cards, we can exile a card and we can play that card this turn, which actually comes in handy as the games get longer and we have less cards in our hand. This will let us utilize the cards in our hand to discard and start playing from the exile pile after combat or in the middle of combat. Now another key important part of this frame is going to be Tursa Light Shatter. They're a 3-drop 3/3 Orc Wizard with haste. Whenever they enter, we get to discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards. So that's another 2 counters on Mako. That's another 2 cards to get our Delirium going. If we haven't got Delirium by turn 3, we have FOMO, we have Patchwork Beastie, we definitely want to get Delirium triggered. And some creatures to help us get a little more aggressive and trigger Delirium would be Wildfire Wickerfolk, a 3/2 Gruul artifact creature with haste, and Delirium gives them +1/+1 and trample. And then Fear of Being Hunted. They're a 3-drop 4/2 enchantment creature with haste, and they have to be blocked of Able. So now another very, very important card, probably the most important card, especially if you want turn 3 wins, is Violent Urge. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Delirium. If there are 4 more card types, they get double strike. So we can just casually be swinging with a 6/5 with double strike and trample that can attack a second time if all the cards lay out in our favor, which does happen sometimes. And one thing that helps all the cards lay out in our favor is Breakout. This is a Gruul sorcery where we can look at the top 6 cards of our library. We may reveal a creature from among them. If they're CMC 2 or less, they hit the battlefield, they have haste. That's awesome, especially for FOMO, for Anti, because now we can just fucking drop them and start using their discard abilities to either get him stronger or get Delirium triggered so he can move. But this is great for that turn 2 Delirium combo, because let's say if we throw down Patchwork Beastie, they mill a card. We use Breakout and get FOMO with this. Now we have 3 cards in our graveyard. A land, an artifact creature, and a sorcery. Just those 3 cards right there, we have Delirium triggered. So that's pretty cool, because occasionally you will get to swing for 8 damage altogether on turn 2. That really pisses people off. And if you have this in your hand, or Anti in your hand, it's probably over for them the next turn. So I'm going to get into our land spread real quick, and then I'm going to go over some strategies to get these really quick, aggressive plays. It may seem kind of weird that there's so much red in this deck, but I have equal land distribution, and that's because Patchwork Beastie, Breakout, they're very important for our decks, for our synergy, so we do want to try to make sure we have that green mana when we need to. And since we're not always comboing off with like 3 red spells on one turn to try to get the kill, we can actually afford to have this. I've never really had the chance yet. I'm sure it can happen, but I haven't had the chance where Fear of Being Hunted could not be played when I had 3 lands. And that's because of the very gracious lands we have right now. Now, 2 of them are moving out when this deck rotates, so it's not 100% rotation proof, but it's rotation proof because we'll just drop in the shock lands when we get them. So we have Copperline Gorge, which I really am going to miss. Arpene Land, Carplosan Forest, and Thornspire Verge, which does stay, and which work amazingly with our Shockland Stomping Grounds. And then Starting Town. Starting Town I'm probably going to bump up to 4 copies after the rotation. So here's one of those turn 3 win combos that can kind of be tricky to pull off, but when you pull it off, it's fucking amazing. So we're going to play Marauding Mako on turn 1. And then the next turn, we're going to play Gangster on a Dinosaur. This will give us a 3/3 with Trample. That's attacking. That's fine. Assuming they don't block, they're at 17 health. They could have blocked all 3 damage. It doesn't matter right now. So the next turn, this is the most important part of this combo, because otherwise it's just a strong start and it's not this vulgar thing. And this is when the luck comes into play. Breakout. We're going to have to get FOMO when we break out. Very important we get FOMO. So now we can discard another card. Now we have 3 cards in our graveyard. Hopefully we have Delirium triggered by now, which means we get to attack a second time once we use FOMO. So when we attack, we have a 6/6 here because of Marauding Mako getting the extra counter from him this turn and the other 2 counters from him this turn. We have to be swinging with FOMO and we have to be swinging with Mako. Then we give Mako Violent Urge. Mako gets untapped by FOMO. Mako is a 7/6 with Trample and Double Strike that gets to attack twice. That is a pretty amazing combo right there. Unfortunately for this to work, FOMO and Entai are not interchangeable. You have to drop him and then drop him for this to be that crazy turn 3 combo. Otherwise, when you have the 3rd card in your graveyard, it's going to be after FOMO attacked and their Delirium won't trigger, meaning you just barely scrape by if they had no blockers. But that too can be a turn 3 win against really slow, greedy decks. So the next cool combo is Patchwork Beastie. Now, assuming you get turn 2 Delirium, as we discussed earlier, you've got the turn 3 win. You don't need that much power to do it. Like, unless they're just going to start laying down blockers or kill everything on your field, you've got a pretty good shot at that turn 3 win. But let's say you didn't get it to trigger like that. Let's say it's turn 3, and Patchwork Beastie mills a card, and now Delirium is triggered. So the opponent is sitting there at 20 health. You can swing with Patchwork Beastie twice. You know you want to put Violent Urge on this motherfucker. So the thing we need here isn't to get Entai out on the field, even though that is a nice second option. It's not actually going to give you that turn 3 win unless, once again, they have no blockers or interaction. But what we can do is play Overprotect. So if these are my only 2 creatures on the field and I have Delirium triggered, now I swing with them. I untap Patchwork Beastie. I give him Violent Urge. We're going to do Violent Urge first because, what if they cast Removal? What if they have interaction? Now we play Overprotect. But either way, we now have a 7/6 with Double Strike and Trample that attacks twice. And we didn't need Entai to help us do that. However, if we have to use Entai instead of Overprotect, you only have a 5/4 with Trample and Double Strike that gets to attack twice. Now that creature on its own is 20 damage. Yes. FOMO could be another 2, depending on how Entai entered the field. If he entered with Breakout, that's another 2 damage. So now it's time to go over the sideboard a little bit. And I'm going to bring up real quick Burst Lightning. I didn't mention it. Obviously, it's nice to have that cheap removal, especially if you go second or you go first and you didn't have a 1-drop, it's just nice to have in your hand. And then Overprotect, as I mentioned earlier, it's a great solid card, especially when you're swinging low to the ground like we are. So now into the sideboard. First off, I'm going to go into a Bride, because if you are going against an artifact deck, you may just want to take out Overprotect and put in a Bride. There was a point where I was running into a lot of these artifact decks with the Synthesizer and Best of One, so I just dropped this on my main board, and it really helped me out a lot. Speaking about decks that are a pain in the ass to deal with, Reanimator is everywhere, and it's pretty fun, and it's pretty aggro. If we can't kill these guys by turn 2 or 3 because of the interaction they presented us with, we've got to find a way to deal with their big guys. Take Your Poison is a good one because a lot of their big guys have flying. Gets rid of Atraxa, gets rid of Valgavoth, and bypasses their ward. So it's a great thing to have. And once again, if you're going up against an artifact deck, who's control focused, this may punish them for getting greedy and trying to throw out key pieces too early in the game. And it's nice to have someone to get rid of enchantments, especially with temporary lockdown still out there. Agatha's Soul Cauldron is in here for, once again, Reanimator decks, mirror matches with other Delirium decks that just want to hate on our graveyard. Maybe we can get a little bit use out of it still. And, of course, those Izzet decks that have a very similar shell to this one, because they will be using Agatha's Soul Cauldron. And if we have one in play, it's a key part of their strategy to be able to use this to get certain creatures' abilities on the field again. This way, they know we can react to their Agatha's Soul Cauldron and exile the creature that they need at exile. Pyroclasm is in here for against rabbits and for against Boros Convoke. Other decks like ours that hit low to the ground, they usually swing a lot wider than us. And after you get about 4 or 5 turns, if you guys hit a stalemate, they usually win the stalemate because they're able to build up such a huge wall. And God forbid they get down, they're sheltered by Ghost. Any deck with white can have that. And it really is such a powerful card. I've seen it carry garbage decks before. You get it in play, and it's over against an aggro deck. The next one is Vengeful Possession. This is specifically in here for Reanimator, but we could also use it against demons sometimes. This deck is very good at putting the push on demons, and a lot of times they'll feel the need to throw down that 5/5 demon for 5 mana from the room just as a blocker, or they'll just throw down any kind of demon to kind of stall you out a little bit. It's a good strategy. This will punish them for that, obviously. And if you're going against demons, Pick Your Poison is great. Most of them have flying, and if not, their room card may be their only enchantment. Restless Ridgeline, that is in here explicitly for control decks. It will slow you down too much to throw in your main board. You'll draw it, and you'll be like, fuck, this is my 3rd land. I can't play Tersa Light Shatter, can't play Fear of Being Hunted. I'm slowed down. So that's what we throw it in our sideboard for those control decks, because especially if you're playing this deck in best of 3, once they see what you are, they're gonna get out the wipes. And this is protected from the wipes. And it's a very powerful creature too, we're not gonna lie. If you have another creature in play, when you get this thing activated, that's an extra 5 potential damage right there. And it lets you untap the creature, giving pseudo vigilance, which can work very well with FOMO, because now we can have 2 creatures untapped for each combat. I want to real quick show you a mono red version of this deck too. This deck isn't exactly capable of the turn 3 win, but it is still pretty fun too. And it also lets me utilize Gastral Thrill Roller, which is a really fun vehicle that I don't see played often. It's a 4/2 for 3 mana with Trample and Haste. When it enters play, it doesn't need to be crewed, it can just attack right away. It crews for only 2, which combos very well with Entei if we don't want to risk them in combat. And another benefit of this is you can play 3 mana and discard a card. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it, which is pretty awesome. I have to give an honorable mention to Balustrade Worm. This guy was in the deck when I originally brewed it. It just seems so counterintuitive to take him out. Such an awesome creature, because if he's in your graveyard, Delirium's triggered, 4 mana, you can return him from your graveyard, and he has a finality counter on him. But this deck just really benefits most from being low to the ground. Even though Balustrade Worm is a no shit discard card. He doesn't do a lot to help you win by turn, anywhere between turn 3 or turn 5, most of the time. Thank you for watching this video. Once again, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that. I have a few matches from a live stream I did the other day coming up to help demonstrate how the deck works. So the quality isn't that great in this video. I've been having some trouble getting back into streaming these past few weeks. It sounded better on my test than it did when I was streaming, so I'm going to have to figure out what exactly is going on here. But video quality will, of course, always be getting better. We appreciate all the support you guys have given, and stay tuned for more content from us. Thank you once again. Okay. I got my one drop, I got my FOMO, I got my violent urges to follow me around all day. Oh, I know what I want to add for this deck actually in the high end. And it is a sorcery. Discard your hand, draw X cards, where X is the amount of card types among cards in your graveyard. What are you called, sweetheart? Oh well, it's from Duskmourn right here. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like you, good sir. I don't like you. I didn't know she played that. I was too busy. Blah blah blah. Yep. So get me an artifact creature in here, buddy. Come on. Oh, that's... Oh, well, that card doesn't matter with that thing in play. And another thing this deck actually needs is enchantment removal. It is very tunnel visioned, if you haven't noticed. Oh, you have, you say? Alright. He saw me reach my hand. I thought he blocked. I think he saw me reach for my hand. He was like, nope. I need him. Well, I need him dead. And I do need a creature in my graveyard, too. Yeah, go ahead and swing. Oh, okay. I was like, go ahead and swing, sweetheart. Creature, yeah! Alright. Time to get stupid. Time to just get fucking stupid. Can I kill them? I think I can. This is how confident I am that I can kill them. Actually, you don't throw away Violent Urge. No, I already have one in my graveyard. Indecision. I'm getting the kill this time. There's nothing that's gonna stop me from getting the kill this turn. Either way, it doesn't matter what I discard. Nothing's gonna stop the kill from fucking 8 with double strike attacking twice. Double strike and trample attacking twice. Oh. That is game. That is when these decks get vulgar. Shit like this. I didn't even need a space. Let's go. That card. Yes, I want to discard. It doesn't matter what the fuck I discard. I just have an 8/7 with double strike and trample attacking twice. I always hated that trope where it's like aggro players aren't smart because all they... What the fuck? One sec. There must have been a beetle in the house or something. I thought that was my fucking fan. That was my fan on my computer. I was like, what the fuck's going on? I guess there's a beetle talking or something. Where they're at, though. Oh. You know what? I don't know. I don't know what I want to put in. We're gonna put Tursa. It gives me a creature. Just need an instant, a sorcery, an enchantment, or artifact. Ew. Ew to all of it. I don't want to play him yet because he's got removal. I know he's got removal. Gonna swing for 2. Nothing's gonna happen. We're just gonna hold off. We're just gonna hold off. Oh, okay. Oh, they bluffed me good. They bluffed me good. Oh, well, it doesn't matter that I'm 1 turn back. Oh! Oh, no! Everyone's getting their nut hands. Everyone's getting their fucking nut in my face hands. Take action. Yes, artifact. I don't have an instant in here, correct? I do not. Good. Go big or go home, motherfuckers. Right? Yeah. Go big or go home. I'm sure as fuck ain't going home. I'm already home. They don't know it has trample. Now they know it has trample. Wow, they stuck through it. I guess I didn't know having your own creatures die was a daily, but I guess it is. I don't know if this is gonna be a good hand. We'll give it a shot. This could evolve into a great hand. Not with that attitude. And I will need 3 lands if I do can combo these. On turn 3. Oh no, you're gonna take my overprotect! So I'm gonna have to use burst lightning on your bat! Aren't you? Oh, I don't care then. I'm cool with that. You just saved us some extra steps, buddy. This shit sucks. Like, how am I constantly throwing this in my graveyard? How have I been constantly throwing Breakout in my graveyard? My favorite sorcery. You know, if you guys could have swapped that order, that would have been tits. That would have been great. Oh well, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get the Patchwork Beasties beasting in. Beastie Boys. We got the Patchwork Beastie Boys. Beasting it up. I just need an artifact or an enchantment or land in there. He's probably got some murder spells. I think they've got some murder spells. You know, let's see if we can get a counter. Fish a counter out of this motherfucker. Fish something, tap some land, do something, tap mana. Please tap mana for me. Yes! Yes! I'm happy you did that. Now I feel safe. There's no way I'm not gonna get a land, artifact, or enchantment from these two. Right? Right. Sorcery. Land! Land-ho! It is over. That was, wow, sometimes it does feel hard to get this shit unless you're throwing 5 fucking copies of fucking... I don't know if this is actually game yet. I may have preemptively GG'd them. Either way, I got a second time with Violent Surge, so... Oh, I preemptively GG'd them. They will have a little bit of health left. They'll have 3 health left. Oh well. That's still a great hit. Great hit. 5 Violent Urge. I was actually looking forward to using you one more time. Let's see if I can get the cart in my graveyard. Oh my god, breakout, dude, that would have been so tits to have. Okay, oh, great, perfect, better. Okay, drew what they needed at the right time. They never went first. Rabbits! It's Wabbit season. The Gruul deck goes better against Wabbit. That one has more strength. It'd be a shame to let it go to waste. I know, you're gonna play hop to it. You're gonna play hop to it next turn. I'm not psychic, I just know this kind of shit. This is how it works. They always get it on turn 3. When they're going against me. Oh no, they didn't, guys. Maybe they haven't, they just didn't. Now I have an enchantment, I have Delirium triggered. First liking that motherfucker to oblivion. Glad I put that in, glad I put that in. I was thinking, these decks do seem to work best, like this one and the Izzard one do work best when I have the removal I need for early game. Because even though it's great to just play everything you need, explode on turn 3 or 4, not all decks like to do that, and then sometimes you gotta go up against decks like this. I hope y'all don't have FOMO from my fear of being hunted. Because you're gonna block that motherfucker. You're not gonna kill him. This is technically removal. Fear of being hunted, that's removal. That's roundabout. It's a shame I couldn't get him trample. Yeah, your last little wabbit's gone. Now they play the fucking horde of wabbits. Horde of little tokens. That'd be crazy if like they dropped the 1-drop frog and then hop to it. I was like, yeah, perfect. Oh shit, they got big deal. But I'm gonna kill him and now I have access to trample. Now I have access to trample. He's fucked. Well, good game. We'll just show him what's up, so he knows, They usually quit right about now. Or now when they realize it's vulgar when these decks come off by it.